But from what I've seen, they can't like. It's hard for them to take like 100% control of the physical body. They might be able to talk and maybe move the arms, but it's hard for them to like walk or anything else. Like, I don't know if I ever told you about after the last time we talked on the podcast. Me and Brittany did some Ouija board that night and had a crazy experience. I won't tell the whole thing on here because it'll take forever to tell the whole story. But essentially, she started like throwing up and stuff, and then and we were live streaming at this point. She started doing this weird stuff with her hands, and then she told me to turn off the live stream. I turned off the live stream, and for the next, it was about 2 hours, something else was talking to me through Brittany and like saying it was going to stab me in the stomach and like saying that I was scared of it and that I was an idiot and like all this stuff. And it was one of the that was one of those experiences again that like really tests you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean,
yeah.
The story's a lot longer, but it was one of the, that was what I was like, that was like literally a possession. That's what I was like thinking. And the way I stopped it again is like through prayer. I tried a little bit of everything because I don't stick to really one religion, I don't know. But I was just trying a bunch of different things, whatever I could think of, and finally I like it stopped. And like she literally slept till like the next night. Like it was
damn.
crazy.
Yeah, man, that's really creepy. That seems like almost like a like, do you think it's like the strength of the spirit that has to, for it to work properly, for it to be a full on possession, or do you think it's just like a time thing? Like if I would have stayed in that longer and longer, would I have eventually turned into that too?
I've thought about it a lot, and I think one thing, like how open the person is, because Brittany, like, she doesn't know how to tell them to stop, and they will like trick her and stuff, because this has happened now a few times. Almost every time I bring her to like an overnight investigation, she starts acting really weird like that. That same like getting really distant and not wanting to talk to people and standoffish. So maybe it's like part of the openness, or something about the way that the person, maybe if they do have some kind of like medium ability, it might be easier for it to slip inside. But I was going to bring up another point. I'm trying to remember the power of the spirit too. Like I was wondering about, like, we've been thinking about like moon phases and things like that, because I've never had anything like that happen until the night at Thornhaven, which happened to be like a new moon night. It was also, the building's like built on a spring, things like that. And I don't know if that made it more powerful to be able to do that to me, or if it was that, because there had been no other reports like that at Thornhaven.
Wow, that's crazy.
Of like things doing that to people. Like there was, I will say that there was one lady they found, like she had walked up and just died in the snow out in front of the building or something like that.
Wow, that's weird.
And Sandy Wolf in the chat brought up the Benton Farms, which another person in the chat, Tim Whitfield, had an experience like this too. I meant to bring up, but so it really is. I don't know. It's becoming. I've been hearing about it a lot more lately.
And I think that probably is because there's just so many more people doing what we do now, because it's so mainstream.
Yeah, it really is kind of taking
off. More people.
And like, have you ever had someone, like a family member or a friend or something, be like, you shouldn't, or they like tell you should never mess with this stuff?
Yeah, all the time.
And times like that will make you question, like, because it's
like, are they right? Yeah.
But then like, there's also the side of me that's like, it's just another experience, and it's furthering who I am as an investigator, or I don't,
Yeah. Yeah, it gets it's harder and harder for people to understand like why we do this, because like I think a lot of people take it as a joke now because of the way TV's kind of painted it, you know?
Yeah, no, it's true. There's a lot who do.
So it's pretty unfortunate, because I think that if it was done properly in the beginning stages and it was more looked at like scientifically, and like the TV shows weren't the reasoning for it to become like a big mainstream thing, then I think that it would have more clout in like the scientific community. That's what I think. Like it's just the beginning, how it just started is what kind of like put it off track, basically, so for them to not take it serious. But there's a lot of smart people. There's a lot of people that know what they're doing. They're not idiots that are in this field, and they're like developing new tools and new tools and equipment for us to use and stuff.
Lasers.
Yeah, and these people like are like able. They feel like they can just like I know that what you were saying, it comes from like a point of concern. Like I don't want you to mess with that stuff because I don't want you to get hurt. But like when you said that, it made me think about this other side of it, where people are like they kind of poke fun at you for doing it. So if people,
you got
people
both
out there listening, don't listen to those comments. Don't. I mean, you are who you are. Do what you want to do. If that's what you want to do, stick to it.
Another thing that sucks about when people say stuff like that is like a lot of people won't want to talk about their sightings of like ghosts or cryptids or anything. They won't want to tell anyone because people do like make fun of them or call them crazy. And like, luckily it is starting. That's a good thing about it becoming more mainstream, is that more people are coming out with their stories and sightings. But it's definitely like there's a lot of specifically on like I've noticed on cell phones and stuff, a lot of those newer like apps and stuff that are coming out, which are just complete mockeries. I mean, there are some great app developers out there, but some of the ones that are just on the main ones you would search for are just like this is a joke.
Yeah, you have to be very, very wary of apps. I don't think there's any app that I use. I'm just not interested in them at all.
Yeah, I prefer the radios. I did. Dave Miller sent me a few apps to test out, so I'm gonna try out some of his sometime soon. But basically, just wanted to like, they're just like the ghost box, just sounds going through a sequence or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's funny because whenever I first started, I was all into that ghost radar.
Yeah.
Before I knew what was wrong and what was right. That app's just goofy.
And it's weird because I have, on things like that, there's been times where I've gotten some relevant stuff, but, it's not really something I'm going to use to be like, this is definitely evidence, just because of what it is, the phone app.
Yeah, no, not at all. That's, unfortunately, it's just, there's just no backing behind it. But have you seen that new device? I don't know. They're supposed to premiere it on Ghost Interest, I think, the next season. But I've already seen it. Not in person, but I've seen it online. What's his name? The guy that made the millimeter, Gary Galkin?
I don't think I've seen it.
He created this thing. It has like a crosshair on top of it. And it senses. I don't know what it senses. I know it's not energy. It senses like something. Basically, when you're holding the device in front of you, it kind of will give you the area where it's sensing something that's like making this sensor go off.
Nice.
So on the crosshair, you can kind of try to like almost locate what's making it go off. So I'm really interested in seeing that, and I really want one. I don't know why he hasn't put it out for sale yet. I think he's just waiting for Ghost of Interest to start using it.
Oh no, yeah, and then it'll go out.
Oh yeah, once they use it, that's done for.
Tia in the chat wanted to ask, do y'all believe Snapchat catches stuff? And what do you think?
Some of those pictures are pretty interesting.
Yeah.
it's not like good evidence to go by, but I don't see why it's impossible. I've used like cameras where, you're filming something and they put the squares around people's faces.
Yeah.
Well, and they pick up stuff that's not there. But then you have to think too, like when you look out at something and your brain tries to create faces because it's like a primitive way of thinking. It's actually the reason why that happens is because we used to be like outdoorsmen that lived out on the plain and and we had to watch out for predators in the darkness.
Yeah.
So your brain's really made to look for faces in the darkness. And the camera is literally people took technology from your eyeball and turn it into some handheld device. That's pretty much what a camera is. Mm-hmm. And it's doing the same thing. It's just detecting faces because the lighting changes, and that's my theory. But to say that all of them aren't ghosts, and that's ridiculous because I'm sure there is probably one or two out there somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that. I wouldn't use it on an investigation or anything, but it's definitely possible that it could pick something up. I mean, same with the SLS, it gets false maps and everything too, but there are some that I've seen that are just really weird stuff happening on that shouldn't happen, and it, with my experience, it matched up with what I was feeling, and that just kind of blew me away. And because when something jumps you like that, it's totally different than than any other investigation. It's.
Oh yeah, for sure. I keep saying, life changing, and from the sound of it, it's like that for you too. So, what kind of precautions do you take now before you go into a place?
Well, definitely come prepared with an assortment of protective herbs and holy water and crucifix, prayer book, things like that. And and we did start doing more prayers before investigations, but sometimes I still do just jump right in, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens in August. We're
talking about that. You want to segue into that?
let's try to do that because I don't think anyone. Have you told anyone really?
Nobody knows, man.
I don't even know how we should do it. Should we just jump right in and be like, "Hey." No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, all right. So, there's going to be a huge, awesome collab between 4 great YouTube channels. My channel, Just Paranormal, is teaming up with SPECTRAL WOLFPACK, who is teaming up with Epic Investigates, and who is teaming up with Wake Paranormal. So if you follow Alex, you definitely probably know Epic for sure because you two are always doing stuff together. But Wake Paranormal, he also has a great YouTube channel, and we all decided we've been talking about it we've known each other for maybe a couple years now, right? Everybody.
Yeah.
So on the internet. So now we finally decided let's just get this going and meet up in person somewhere. And we're going to meet up in August. We're going to go to a great location. Do you want to handle the location side of it?
Yeah. Generally, Eric doesn't like to reveal his locations before. I wonder if he would be okay with this one. It's not like anything bad would happen or anything. With 6 of us, bros, protect.
Do it the exclusive for the listeners of this show.
6 of us bros protecting each other with our shirts off.
Oh, it's going to be awesome. We're going to bring some baby oil too.
Yeah, it's going to be all right, we're going back, guys. We are going back to Hales Bar Dam.
Hell yes.
And
no pun intended.
It's going to be insane because we got 6 people from, we said 4 teams, right? 4 teams.
4 teams, 6 people.
It's going to be perfect for sending in little 2-man squads.
Mm-hmm.
Do some alone time,
yeah.
too.
Yeah, man, it's gonna